Right then, so Dave Allen and Big Fraze. So the actual fight, Dave coming out to ring. Do you think it were Dave's last hurrah kind of thing?
I think
you know, saying his farewell, or are we going to have Operation White Rhino 29.8 and he's taking it serious? Simple. And he's got kids to feed and
everybody likes a bit of money, right?
Yeah.
And I think he's got offered a bit of money and he's thought, I'll do that, I'm fully ready. Listen, if you're going to fight Fraser Clark, realistically, Jamie Moore would want 2 camps with him, a 6-rounder, an 8-rounder, and then we're ready for Fraser Clark, who was an Olympian. No, you jump from, I saw a video of the last guy who Dave Allen stopped in Malta.
Malta with Max was there, wasn't he?
I saw that video and
it was a barman, wasn't
he? It wasn't good, right? And then you go from him
to Olympic bronze
medalist. Come on, do me a favour.
Yeah, he was there to be filled in, but if you want to go by the rules, and we have to look at it the other way, he'd had 2 points took off him, Fraser, for low blows, and he was told by Mark Lysom in no uncertain terms, you do that again and you're out of here, disqualified, right? And he did it again.
Yeah.
And he did nothing except warn him. So why weren't he disqualified? Did Mark Lysom bottle it?
Well, I mean, referees bottling it is nothing new, is it?
Not a board referee,
in board referees, that's nothing new. I think there was an element of discretion there, and to be fair to Mark Lyson, I think some of that element of discretion was because he knew Dave Allen didn't want to be in there.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm kind of I'd be giving a technical victory to the wrong guy here. And I think he was lenient towards Fraser Clark. And then what we did see, to be fair to Fraser, was when he stopped throwing the body shots and he realised, you know what, I've got to have a bit of urgency now. It was pinging Dave Allen pretty easy when he was uppercuts down the middle, right hook over the top. They were
not coming back, were they?
I just thought it was the performance of a fighter in terms of Dave Allen, of someone who don't take sport seriously, hasn't boxed at a high level for years, and is not really committed. You know, I mean, you know something, right? You think about this as a principle. Right? You're inactive, and you've got a big opportunity. Do you have Plan A, which was Dave's Plan A? I'll just mess him around a few rounds and tire him out. Or do you go for Plan B, what Bone Crusher Smith had against Tim Witherspoon second time? I'm going to throw everything at you and try and get you out there as quick as I can. And if it don't work, then it don't work. You throw the kitchen sink at him, don't you? You can't hope that someone's going to tire themselves out. But boxing's not like that. You can't hope a guy's going to gas. You got to give everything. And he never... Did he even throw a left hook? Did he throw one left hook in that fight?
No, all I saw was somebody there who looked like he was taking punishment, and his game plan were Fraser's going to gas and I'll get him late on. That looked to me like the plan. I don't know what plan what was his game plan?
I don't think he had one. I think it was...
Just going to wing it?
Yeah, payday.
Well, if you're going to wing it, well, he signed a 6-fight deal with Dennis, and he's now had 4 fights with Dennis, and he's got 2 left, a promotional deal. Dennis is not his manager. Dave's his own manager. Right, so Dennis was at that show last night. Technically, Dennis didn't really need to be there, did he really? But Dennis was at the show, and they've got 2 fights left. Does Dennis put his hand in his pocket and put Dave on a show? Don't forget, Dave don't do tickets on Dennis' shows. Or does Dennis hover about and get him another couple of fights? Because they'll be queuing up to beat Dave now. You know, like Frank Warren will have that Moses of Tomei, is it? They're looking to put him in with Dave Allen, I've heard. And there'll be other people wanting to jump in with him and feast on Dave's name. Is he going to be that guy now that gets knocked about for his next few fights?
The reality is, because you follow it, and I've followed it through you. You and I know Dave Allen's been boxing once a year for 4 years.
Yeah, well, it's longer, isn't it?
Everybody else, you casuals think Dave Allen hasn't boxed for 5 years because we haven't seen him. So what's happened now is Dave Allen's back now.
Well, he's out for the rest of the year, they're saying.
But his name's out there again. They'll use him as a gauge now. I can put Moses in with him. If Moses does a better job than Fraser, that shows great potential. What about Fabio? Maybe have a tune up against Dave. they'll use
Fabio Wardley, I wouldn't have thought he'd be on the same planet as Dave at the moment. British title in the world ranking.
It'd be a tune-up, exactly what I
It'd
said.
be if David Adelaide gets injured in their fight. It wouldn't be a British title. It'd just be like just a fill gap fight to keep busy, wouldn't it, for Fabio?
It'd be a two-round fight, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know, because Dennis can't do much of him on his own promotions, because if he doesn't
do tickets, he's no good to Dennis.
Who are you going to match him with? And then
he'll end up at it if he don't do any tickets. He'll be fighting. He'll be paying to fight.
Yeah. And what I also, if it is a burst of eardrum, he won't be out to.
Burst of eardrum. He's had his mouth opened up by Otters in round 3 and still kept going another few more rounds.
Realistically, he could be out in 2 or 3 months if it's a perforated.
What again after that?
Well, I'm saying realistically, perforated eardrums they don't last for months and months and months. But look, I think it's probably time time to put it to bed now, innit? And
What, retire now for Dave? Do you think?
Yeah, I just think.
Get a proper job.
Depends how much you got. I mean, because one thing you can say is, let's just say, I don't know what he got. I'm going to guess, right? Let's just say he got 70 grand. Yeah. If he got 70 grand, because it wasn't a great performance, he's not going to get another 70 grand, is he? He'll get 40 grand next time.
Less.
Yeah, and they'll get 20 grand, and then before you know it, it's not worth.
5 grand a time, Danny Williams. Then,
it's not
innit?
worth him getting out of bed for.
You like Danny Williams then, going round Germany for 5 grand every other month.
I think he's got a young family, hasn't he? Has he got a child, a little
He's
boy?
got a young family, and he's got a girl. Has he got one on way as well? Listen, everybody's got families. Adam Smith's got families. Had millions out of Sky. His problems are not my problems. Dave Allen's aren't our problems, are they? Does Dave Allen care about us when we've got bills? No.
I just want to see competitive boxing, and I want to see.
That's all we want to see. We don't want to see people turning up looking like Wayne and Wayneetta are at Kevin and Perry Go
and
Large.
Excuses and moaning and saying, look, ultimately it was poor, and I think Fraser Clark was poor as well. Second time on bounds, Fraser was poor.
I ain't really seen him do anything for me, but getting back to Dave Allen, Dennis at the end, it was a bit embarrassing actually, because people kept sending me screenshots of Dennis high-fiving and group hugging the Gad.
Alright.
And shaking hands with Juggiers backstage, and it was like Dennis's last hurrah, Colonel Custer's last stand, wasn't it?
People love being around boxing.
Well, I mean,
Dennis is boxing, but
yeah, Dennis loves boxing and that, and he's got millions in bank. Where he's just fed Super Tommy Frank to Eddie Hearn on a DAZN headliner. He's just fed Dave Allen to an Olympic bronze on a chief support, and now. What it a chief support?
I don't know what.
Might not have been a chief support.
I'm asking you because I don't follow it like I used to.
And I don't know where Dennis is going with this, asking for a rematch. Is this what it's about now? Promoters with begging bowl out saying that should be a rematch because they were low blows, or.
Well, we don't want to see a rematch of that, do we?
Who'd want to see Dave Allen against It's Big Freeze, Frosty the Snowman against a Rhino, pair of them stuck in treacle,
No.
20 Clem and 19 Clem, throwing about 6 punches around each. Who wants to see 2 jelly blancmanges? They were like big jellies in there, weren't they?
I don't want to see that.
Embarrassing.
I want to see athletes basically.
That's what we want to see.
I mean, professional athletes who turn up, and like I said about Dave, going back on Dave, but you can't suddenly decide for 8 weeks I'm going to graft. He might have grafted for 8 weeks with Jamie, I don't know, but you gotta live the life all the time. And if you don't, it finds you. And you can't expect to be springing upsets when you've been operating at that level for the last 4 or 5 years. You might as well not be in boxing. Not everybody's Ray Leonard or Ali can come back after 2 or 3 years out of the ring. Not everybody can do that. And it's... I just thought it was poor. Well, in any other look, I know Fraser Clark's bronze medalist, but Dave in any other world, let's just say not now, let's go back to the 70s and 80s. You're talking the Stuart Lithgow, Neville Mead level, aren't you? That's
Neville Mead had put Dave in his top pocket, wouldn't he?
That type of level, aren't
Denzel Brown, would he beat Dave?
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? It's just...
Yeah, Nick Manners, would he beat Dave if they fought heavyweight?
Oh yeah, Nick was
a super medal as well, wasn't he?
Yeah. It's just I'm not knocking the guy, right?
Larry Holmes, right? He can feel aggrieved about not going to Munich in '72. He's still got beef about it, hasn't he, Larry Holmes?
He had issues with the Bobic thing, didn't he? But it's...
Well, Larry Holmes at 8-0 against its big freeze, an Olympic bronze medalist at 8-0. Let's say they're rolling dice on one a non-Olympian, one a non-Olympian. Who wins that fight?
Holmes probably beats him with his left jab alone, doesn't he?
Yeah. So does that say a lot about what's coming from Olympics now?
There's something about, and Azim's a good fighter, but I've said to you as well, there's something about Sky signings. Sky signings are not great, are they? It's like either they're not great talent scouts, I don't know, but there's just something about the roster of fighters with, you know, whatever you say about Frank, they've got like Fraser is the pin-up as a heavyweight pin-up for Sky. And he's got, obviously, I'm not on about Fury and stuff, but he's got like Moses Toolmire. This is a guy who can fight. This is a kid, he's 18, and this is a guy who can fight. And over 6 rounds, I'd put Moses beating Fraser Clark.
Would you?
Yeah, way much more talent. Faster hands, better feet, better mindset. Easy. Ping him silly. He's one paced, he's big Fraser. He's one paced. He's one paced.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens moving forward. So, alright, well listen, I hope you've enjoyed this part. Move on to the next part. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment. We'll see you in the next part in 2 seconds. Pop, pop, bang. Don't forget to share it with your pals and leave a comment.